Welcome to the recap of the Walking Dead universe. We are here live every week during the show season to discuss the latest episode. You can catch our episode reviews at any time, available on most podcast platforms. Get new and past episodes for free in the app of your choice, including YouTube. For those of you joining us live today, thanks for taking time out of your evening to be here. I am your host, Tamara, and I love a good TV show and a good book. If you'd like to reach out to me, you can find me pretty much everywhere at The Recap Pods. And if you're into books, you can also find me at Shelf Addiction. Joining me is show co-host Lisa. Welcome, Lisa.
Hey, Tamara. Hey, everyone. My name is Lisa Orban. I am an author. I am also the founder of Indies United Publishing House, and I love all things pop culture. So if you would like to connect with me online, you can find me pretty much everywhere at Lisa Orban Author or at Indies United Pub.
So before we dive in, a few quick things. First, we want to hear from you. If you're live, use the YouTube comment section. If you're on the replay, you can still comment or use the SpeakPipe link in the show notes to leave us a voicemail. Second, please hit that subscribe button. Follow us so you never miss an episode. All of the links for both me and Lisa are in the show notes, so you can find us on our socials. And finally, but most importantly, we are laid back in our review style, right, Lisa?
Oh, absolutely, Tamara. This is a conversation, not a dissertation.
Exactly. No scene by scene breakdowns here. We jump around. And of course, huge spoiler alert for everything in the world through yesterday's episode. If you're cool with that, this is the place for you. And we should just jump right on in. Daryl Dixon, season 3, episode 2. What did you think, Lisa?
You know, I kind of liked it.
Yeah?
I did. This is not where I thought the episode would go. And but I liked it. I thought it was pretty interesting.
Yeah, same. I didn't really have any, I guess, expectations for this show anymore. I kind of just try not to, because I feel like every time I do, I'm like super disappointed anyway. So I try to just like reel it in and just kind of go with the flow. And I think I enjoy it a lot more.
Yeah. I will say I've noticed so Carol is becoming almost more childlike.
Mm-hmm.
And Daryl is becoming more aggressive.
Mm-hmm. He is right now. Yeah, for sure.
And I know part of that is because as she's becoming less her, and more, she's just kind of wandering around. She can't quite get that focus right now, which is not uncommon with the head injury. He's becoming more and more protective.
Let me jump in, because I feel like that first scene where Carol is watching the couple, why does this feel so weird and inappropriate to me? Like, I know she was kind of doing it out of this whole, oh, how sweet, look at them, so nice. But I'm like, why are you just standing there like a creeper? I don't know. It just seemed a little weird. I didn't know what to make of it at first. I'm like, what is she doing?
I honestly, I assumed it was just part of the concussion.
Yeah.
She's not really Carol's not really processing things very well right now.
Mm-hmm.
And she's not her normal cautious self. And this isn't that hopefulness that we saw in like the first episode.
Mm-hmm.
This is her just really being out there. Her brain got a little scrambled, and she's just not her right now. And the more and the more protective Daryl has to be, the more extreme he's willing to go to protect her.
Yeah. Well, I hope that's all it is, but I'm not so sure. She is definitely, how Carol goes up and down, either she's on a 10 or she's on like 0.
Yeah.
And she's kind of like sitting at a 2 or 3 right now. She's really in this zone, but she has enough there to speak her mind when it comes to how people are doing things. And if she doesn't like it or it doesn't make sense to her,
Right.
she's got that, but she's softer right now.
Right. But then again, I mean, if you think back to how Tamara has been in the past, she would have been a lot more circumspect in her answer.
Mhm.
I don't think, she answered it honestly, which is not something Carol would normally do.
You
I mean,
know, they
it's
answered all the questions that way, though. Think about it. When they said, "How'd you guys get here?" They're like, "A boat and a plane and a boat." They just told their business. It was like,
yeah.
"Oh,
Next, we're gonna take a blimp.
yeah,
And I'm not gonna lie, it actually it crossed my mind. I'm like, "When are they gonna get on a hot air balloon?" You know,
soon, apparently."
apparently. I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm here for it. They went around the world in 80 days in a hot air balloon. Why not?
Right.
Um, but yeah, I did just like I said, Carol's I don't think because again, in the first episode, we got this really nice picture of Carol being a little more relaxed, a little more open. But I mean, she still had caution, even when dealing with um was it Nigel? Was that his name for the first
Mm,
episode? Anyway.
oh, I don't know.
Anyway, but so it's he brings this really great, you know, um liquor and they're throwing it over their shoulder, so they can stay sober while they talk to him.
Mhm.
And Carol didn't even then come right out and say, "Hey." So yeah, I think, since her head injury, she's just kind of wandering around without her normal shield that,
Mm,
she keeps up.
yeah.
And I think it's kind of putting Daryl on edge because he doesn't know quite what to do because it's almost like she's like a 5-year-old in an adult body right now.
Oh, I don't know if I go that far, but it does seem very odd, what she's doing right now.
Yeah.
And Daryl is definitely like during this conversation, at the dinner where Carol starts to insert her opinions on things and, say, "Oh, this is weird," and all this other stuff.
Mhm.
Daryl's like, "Oh, hand me that pork." He's like, interrupting her kind of.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for him spotting those men, he would have stayed there and continued to run interference
Mhm. Well,
because he just, yeah.
and under normal circumstances, under normal circumstances, she would not have. But him doing that would have made her go, "Oh, well, maybe I should be a little more cautious," or maybe he knows something I don't know, or there would have been, you know, a little more reflection on why he was doing that.
Yeah.
And instead, she was just like, "Oh, sure, here's more pork. And by the way, this is my opinion."
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is very. I don't think we've ever seen Carol like this. Not ever.
Yeah, she's really in this zone right now, and I hope it is, like you say, and it's the head injury because I don't know if I can take her acting like this for, I don't know, what, 5 more episodes?
Yeah, and I don't think we will because she's. I mean, she was still there in this episode, but she's not as bad as she was. Because right after they came to shore and everything, she was talking very, childlike. She
Yeah.
had there was this soft, hesitation to everything she was saying.
Mhm.
And like when he was trying to cover her up to keep them protected from the people that came onto the beach, she's like throwing off the blanket. "I'm hot." Um, and those are very out of character. All those things were very out of character for her. Even just sitting there, you know, she heard the voices, she followed the voices, and then she just kind of sat and stared at them because I, I, I don't think she's processing things quite right at this point.
No, she's like, "They're so perfect." I'm like, "What are you talking about, girl?" Like, "Okay, I guess." But, when she got to the town and saw what was going on, she pretty much tells Daryl, "We have to help them."
Hmm.
And he's like, "I just wanna get home. We need to get the heck out of here."
Yeah. Yeah, he's all about, "Do you have any tools? Can I fix my boat? Can I" Yeah. And
Right.
I so there's also not just the taking care, but I mean, he got drug into this entire war, when he was in France and, and the whole thing. I mean, and basically gained a son and a girlfriend and lost them both. And he's done. He wants no more entanglements and he wants it just to be him and Carol and he wants out of there.
Yeah, they just want well, they wanted to get back, and now she's
Right.
all sidetracked with this love story that's, like,
Mhm.
going on there. I noticed this episode, they introduced the characters pretty quickly. We
Mhm.
know all the main players, and they actually have, like, 2 little romances going on,
Mhm.
which is kind of unusual for this show. It's kind of taking a deviation from the norm a
Yeah.
little bit, I think, focusing on that, but I don't necessarily dislike it. I'm kind of curious to see where it's going to go and, how Carol is going to be able to help them.
Yeah. Now I mean, I guess my one big question is these girls that are being taken, um, and they don't know where they're going. I mean, are they why? I mean, is it because genetically I kind of understand why you would wanna do that,
Mhm.
um, because they all do live in fairly small communities, so having people marry and be outside of their own communities is a good thing, but
Mhm.
it are they being auctioned off? Is this a lottery? Is there a what is this purpose?
It's hard to tell, to be honest. So, I feel like Um, they're supposed to marry these women off to someone
Mhm.
somewhere, we don't know. That's, like, the big, I guess, missing gap here. Hopefully, we'll
Yeah,
have that sorted out next episode, but they definitely are saying they're better off where they
yeah,
are, right? And instead of just taking the women, they're trading them for
yeah,
food, weapons, whatever,
mhm.
which is kind of
Well, and
strange.
but I guess the bigger thing is I think the girls would be less reluctant to go if they because it's very secretive. I mean, obviously they have a woman there that was taken as a young girl through one of these lotteries. She's obviously not in a bad way. She's married and she's not and while it may not be a relationship she wanted, she's not as far as we can tell being mutilated or whatever.
Right.
Um But why aren't they telling these girls or these communities where these girls are going?
Right, and why are they
What
cut off from their past?
right. Why the secrecy? I guess that's my question. Why the secrecy?
Yeah. Honestly, to me, the whole, I guess, pig run to see who
Mhm.
was gonna go, that whole thing, that whole setup was feeling very, um, Hunger Games.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, at the beginning where you pick who's gonna go to the district, the capital,
Mhm.
this is how we do it, except for they have the pigs racing.
Right.
I don't know, I felt instantly like this is very reaping like, uh,
Yeah.
eh,
Well, and
yeah.
and again, I mean, if the communities if they said, "Hey, they're gonna be going into and being married to, the someone in the royal court, and they're gonna have
Mhm.
a court life, and all their wants and needs are always going to be met," and the girls come back on occasion and say, "Hi, mom. Hi, dad," or whatever, just to reassure those communities, I don't think there would be quite the reluctance, but except for this one woman that, somehow managed to convince her husband to let her go,
Right,
um, nobody knows where these girls go or who they're married to. They'll they're or anything. If there's children or grandchildren, the parents and the families will never know. And why? I guess that's my big thing is why? Why the secrecy?
I feel like, they're gonna have to tell us the why eventually, there's no way around it, they're gonna have to reveal it, hopefully
Hmm.
sooner than later because the why might be the motivator that gets Daryl on board to help them.
Hmm.
I'm thinking that's gonna come out soon because we can't just keep going on and not knowing why we're gonna help them for what reason,
Right.
especially when, Carol's kind of been put in her place by an elder, like, "Hey, lady, you just got here, quit trying to tell us
Right. And
what
she
to
even
do."
and she walked it back. She said, "You're right. I don't
Mhm,
know."
mhm. So there's gotta be a really, really good reason that they're going to see or hear or experience that's gonna
Mhm.
make them want to dive in and help them because right now she needs to back off. And I think she kind of reads that, you know?
Yep. I'm kind of
Mm.
wondering what's going to happen with because Daryl killed those 3 guys, and I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
you know, they initially thought they were bandoliers. Uh, guess not. I guess they belong to the royal, contingent there. What if anything's gonna come of that?
So the bandoliers, are those the people? Okay, so I'm trying to think if that is the same group or a different group because it's not clear. You know, the group that were wearing the mask that took all the stuff from their boat at the water? I'm
Yeah,
kind of
nothing.
wondering, are you sure they're the bandoliers?
No, no, no. Because no, I'm talking about the ones that went after the 2 kids,
Right. I'm wondering if that's from
and
the same grouping or not.
I don't know. But she referred to them. The girl referred to them as bandoliers.
Right.
Bandoliers came after us. So, that's why I use that term because that's what she said about them. They were bandoliers. But then
Right.
they show up, you know, and there for the feast.
Yeah, so that means that they're with whatever is left of whatever royalty they think they have going on there.
Mhm.
But that's still, yeah, I guess that's an outstanding question. We're going to have to wait and see if the bandoliers are indeed the same people that we saw in the first episode or not.
Yeah.
Or if those people are tied to this other place we have not seen or not, or if that's like a third group of people that we have to contend with.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I guess we're just gonna have to wait. We're gonna have to wait and see because there's no answers here, in this
Yeah.
episode, but I am very curious.
Yeah, I very much this episode, I mean, they introduced us to all these new characters and kind of gave us a general overview of what's going on. Um, and really, I mean, their town, we have seen way worse communities.
Mhm.
They seem to have a decent amount of a population. I don't now personally, I don't know how much the because the supplies that they gave them, I mean, it was one chest.
Mhm.
And while there was, some weaponry in it, some medicine, I mean, there really wasn't a whole lot in there. Not really.
Right.
Um, so my question is what's in that box worth the loss of of a lifetime worth of effort from the person they're taking?
Well, that's what Carol's asking.
Yeah,
Like, what is worth this? Why would you let your
yeah.
daughters go?
And they did say, I mean, and he did say that before they started doing this, they were in a worse position. But it also doesn't seem like the other groups will come to their aid. I mean, they're on their own. That's why these supplies are passed out so they can take care of themselves.
Mhm.
It doesn't seem like this is like a pact among the communities
Mhm.
that they'll take care of each other. So, you know,
Yeah. I don't know. I think right now they did throw a lot at us in this second episode, and there's so much more to learn. Like, how many more communities are involved with this giving up of their daughters?
hmm
It's gotta be more than just these 2.
yeah,
Um, yeah, I'm curious to see how that goes. But is the 4th season being filmed in the same location? Do you know that? Have you heard?
no, I haven't heard.
Okay, because I heard that they're filming right now, but because I didn't wanna, like, be technically spoiled, I kinda just shied away and did not read anything.
Yeah,
So I saw, like, a headline, I'm like, "Oh, I'm not gonna investigate further," but if you knew, I was gonna.
no, I haven't. I have not actively looked.
Mhm.
Um,
Okay.
so and I wasn't. I might later on after the season is over.
Mhm.
But then again, by the end of the season, we might kind of have a good idea where they're going to be anyway.
Yeah, because that's what I was wondering. Because 'cause I'm like, well, if the next season is in the same location, then this world here in Spain can get bigger, and we can deal with more than just these 2 communities
Right.
because they'll have more time to tie up the storylines, right?
hmm
But if they've moved on and they're not in Spain anymore, then we know that the scope of the story here will be small.
Like I said,
So I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't heard. Um, I mean, honestly, I wouldn't mind if they got their boat fixed and ended up somewhere in, like, I don't know, New Zealand or, you know, somewhere in Upper Canada
Mhm.
and had to make their way down,
Mhm.
across the frozen tundra or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, it would not bother me to see them, or make it across and end up in, like, Brazil and have to go up.
Mhm.
Um, that wouldn't upset me a whole lot.
Well, I don't know. I mean, 'cause season 4 is the end, so
Mhm.
whatever they're doing, they've gotta make it back by the 7 I don't know if they're having 7 or 8 episodes next season, but they don't have a lot of time to play around, so
Mhm.
and I kinda like that, honestly. I like that we know when the end is because I feel like that's gonna make the story tighter and no episodes wasted, or at least I'm hoping that's what that means anyway.
Yeah, I mean, so far, I mean, I don't know if these we had a kind of a self-encapsulating episode with England.
Mhm.
Um, and then we're out on the boat and everything, and then we're stranded, and then we're in Spain. Uh, I don't, but I do think that there's a nice pacing to the episodes. I'm not really seeing a lot of dragging through them.
Well, I don't know about that. See, look, okay, let me tell you. I fell asleep twice trying to watch this episode, and it was in the middle of the day. There's no reason for me to be sleepy. I was not sleepy. I don't know what was going on, but I just could not. I'm telling you, I just was like, sleep. Oh no, I have to rewind it. That happened more times than, 2 times is too many
Yeah.
when I have to rewind, I don't know, 10 minutes because I fell asleep. So I don't know. Is it the pacing? Is it the
The calming
language? I don't
Spanish.
Yeah, that's what I don't know.
I
It's just
mean,
something.
I will say this, the Spanish language, it's very musical, and it's
Yeah.
also there it's lyrical, and there's a lot of it. Um, so I don't know. I mean, and the music isn't, it's not, they're using some really nice calming music. I don't know, I could see where that could put "Oh, this is really nice. Yeah, just keep talking." You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, so I don't think it's boring by any means, and I think this also is kind of a nod back to kind of the original Walking Dead type of thing where we're trying to learn all these people, we're meeting communities, and there's not a lot of scenes right now where they're fighting off walkers,
Mhm.
right? So
Right.
the action is not so actiony in that way. It's like a different way. We're more
Yeah.
about learning these characters and driving the plot through character development versus just like action.
Yeah. And the director did say that, they drew a lot of inspiration from the old spaghetti westerns for this particular, uh, episode where the stranger comes in, goes to the town that may or may not be in trouble, and, that kind of thing. Um,
Yeah, I heard that and I said, "What the heck is a spaghetti western?" So I just
oh, see, I can tell you all about spaghetti westerns. My dad loved them. Um, they were they were western, uh, movies that were
Mhm.
financed by, Spanish, uh, millionaires so a lot of the, Clint Eastwood the old Clint Eastwood movies are considered spaghetti westerns.
Mhm. Oh,
So,
interesting. Yeah, not
mhm.
my cup of tea. So when he said that, I was like, "Oh, okay, cool. Next."
Yeah, it was it
Yeah.
if you know anything about because I got that feel. They had that same kind of pacing, and the fr f the the filming and stuff had that same nod back to the old spaghetti westerns.
Mhm.
I have seen a lot of them.
Okay.
Not voluntarily.
Right.
Uh, but yeah, I am familiar. So,
Okay.
as soon as he said that, I'm like, "Oh, yeah, yeah, I get it now."
So it's the
Um,
color grading that we're seeing in all the daytime scenes?
mhm,
Mhm.
that's all reminiscent of those kind of movies. The only
'Cause
thing that would
honestly, every
honestly,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say the only thing that would have made it more perfect is if Daryl still had his serape,
Right.
because
Wow.
Clint Eastwood wore one a
Oh,
couple of times in these. So,
okay, I see.
yeah.
But I noticed, like, that color grading exists even in the nighttime scenes, like,
Mhm,
everything has this amber, like, hue
mhm.
over it,
Yeah,
and yeah,
that's why.
uh, but again, it's, like, it's very visually appealing, it looks great, like, it's great, like, for the scenes where they're doing the celebrations and, it looks really nice, but again, that lends itself to that, like you said, that soothing, cozy,
I'm gonna tell you from
calming.
my point of view, okay, my
Yeah.
point of view as the blind woman here, I am enjoying the fact that I can see the screen,
Even on the
okay?
night scenes?
Uh, they're not as dark this season.
Okay.
I mean, they're still dark, but they're not the black on black quite so much. They
Okay.
have a little more depth to them, so I am appreciating that.
Yeah. The scenes where Daryl was chasing those guys, actually, I
Mhm,
love that scene. That was pretty, clever of him, how he got the jump on them.
mhm.
But those were pretty dark, to be honest.
Yeah.
They were dark, but you could see them. And, side note, when that guy was hanging off the side, I said, "Oh my god, he's gonna, like, hit him in the face or something." I did not expect him to, like, slice his hands.
Yeah, he cut his fingers off, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Um,
gruesome.
yeah, and I mean, Daryl is not as forgiving in this season. Um, he has been, I mean, from the beginning, he's been a little more has more of an edge to him,
Mhm.
and I don't hate it, but it is Daryl's always been kind of one with between him and Carol, he's always been the one with more of the soft touch than her, ultimately. And now their roles have been reversed.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Because 'cause I'm like, "Dang, you coulda just, I don't know, hit him in the face." That would've been less gruesome than, doing what he did, but what can you do? I don't know. I guess that's what he was feeling in the moment, so go for it, Daryl. It's
Yeah.
fine.
I mean, Daryl's doing Daryl right now, and we're just
Yeah.
gonna let him go do Daryl stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so what did you think about some of these new characters that we met?
Well, okay, so I did get kind of a giggle out of the boy, the the young man he's in love. My
Oh,
father
Roberto?
just doesn't understand. I love her. And Daryl's like, yeah, and maybe he understands there's more important things, and just rah!
Look, no lies detected, dude. Like, you're in an apocalypse right now. What is going on? People are being kidnapped from your town, and at that point, he didn't even know what was going on,
Yeah.
basically.
Well, and
Yeah.
and it's what they were worried about was her name getting drawn, and and now she's not gonna be drawn, and I guess this is her last year. So, which is good.
Oh, and that's another thing. Is it her last year because she aged out of it? That's so gross. Why do they have to be so young? And I was wondering about the girl, um, Abby or whatever her name was, Abel, whatever her name was, the girl that got picked.
Yeah.
I'm like, why? How old is she? I was trying to figure out how old she was. I'm like, is she at least 13 years old?
Yeah. Albie?
14, 15? Albie?
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't figure out how old she was, which was also high level of cringe. If you're
Yeah.
marrying these women off, you
Well,
can't take a 13-year-old.
and it does seem from so when the one woman was talking, um, one of the things the implication was is they're not immediately married off, they're brought in
And
and
groomed.
groomed. So they're
Mhm.
there for several years before they are married. So
Oh, that's so much better.
yeah, I'm not saying it's great. Okay. Um,
Yeah,
but again, this entire system is just weird. And
it is.
so, we're told not to question it because it's working for them. They were in a bad spot before. Now they're not. They're doing really well.
Mhm,
Um, but again, my question is, if they're taking these girls to marry them to people, why the secrecy? What's so secret about this? Why is it so important to keep them cut off from their families and stuff? What is the point of that? Why?
mm, mhm,
Um, because honestly, if this was like a cultural exchange where if the women were brought to like a different settlement and they got to pick who they wanted to marry, someone outside of their family group, I could see that.
mhm,
Where there's this, the women are being moved, moved from village to village. They leave their village and they go, or the young men leave their village and go somewhere else so that, you know, um, you're not marrying your cousin or your half
right.
sister. You know, these are important things in a small population. But what they're doing doesn't but the secrecy doesn't make any sense to me.
Mhm. Yeah, I agree. The secrecy is gonna be that's the linchpin, I think. When they find out what it is, Daryl's gonna be like, "Okay, we gotta help them. Okay,
Yeah,
fine." Whatever that is, I think that's gonna be the thing that changes his
yeah.
his tune. He has a limit.
Mhm,
So, I don't know. It'd be curious to see, let's see, who else? So we met Roberto and Justina.
mhm,
We met the leader of Solas Del Mar,
mhm,
who is Justina's uncle.
mhm,
That was interesting. You know what? Somebody said, "What if?" Because he was the one that picked up the pig and looked at the name on it. What if he picked up the other girls on purpose? Like maybe he could see the names because that's his niece.
mhm. I was kinda wondering because I did the for the previews for next week, it doesn't say anything, but I was when he looked at the collar and everything else, I'm kinda wondering if maybe he didn't just randomly pick a different name
Yeah,
or palmed it.
yeah,
So, who's gonna question him because he's the only one that really saw the name.
yeah. I mean, technically, he could have picked Justina's name and just said the other name that he knew was in there.
Mhm. Yeah,
Mm. I don't know, interesting. But that wouldn't be surprising to me at all. Of course, you don't want your niece to be taken,
right.
so anybody but
Well,
hers.
and it could have been I mean, he could have done this several times, we don't know,
Mhm.
'cause she's
He
never
could've.
been picked.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, I don't know. It's, yeah, I just don't know what's going on with that whole being sent off. It's just weird.
It is weird. And then we met Roberto's father,
Mhm.
who actually is the one that took in Carol and Daryl.
Yep.
He's interesting.
I love well, who's gonna have space? And they go into this really nice little homestead. I'm like, "That's a kind of a big ass house." I mean, they could have just there
Mhm.
seems like there's plenty of room, you know?
Yeah. It was pretty big with his cat and everything. I'm curious to see what his role is gonna be because I don't think he likes what's going on either.
Yeah.
He seems like he wants to be a good parent. He had that conversation with Daryl, like, "Oh, am I messing him up?" Basically, he's like, "Well, you're asking the right question, so I'm sure you're good."
Yeah.
So he seems like a good person. I wonder if there's gonna be Carol kind of looking at him a little interesting because he's a man that's not Daryl,
Yeah. There's
and
that.
there's no wife around, so
Mhm.
maybe.
Maybe.
I wouldn't hate it. I'm fine with it.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, Daryl got his romance last season.
Yep.
I guess maybe it's Carol's turn. I don't
Mhm.
know.
Mhm.
Um, but I would honestly prefer no, just because if I wanna see them go back to the United States.
Mhm.
and her being in a relationship would just complicate things.
It would, unless his son dies, then he has no reason to stick around. They can leave
Yeah.
together.
I mean, I guess he could go back with them, but, we'll see.
I don't know. Then we met, I think the character's name was Paz. Correct me if I'm wrong. I know someone will. So, she's the one who had a previous, like, I don't know if I'd say relationship, but she knew of the woman that came, the wife
Mhm,
that came back. She knew her.
mhm.
And the lady said something like, "Oh, I thought you would come for me," or something. I thought that was
Yeah.
pretty interesting. I'm like, where is she supposed to go? Do they know where to go? Maybe they do.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, I
But
don't I think it sounded more like an assumption that you would, I'm surprised you didn't follow me in the night or whatever and just keep track of me, see where I went.
yeah, maybe. I don't know because it seems like she didn't even know exactly where she was
Yeah.
until she talked to someone who's from the same town.
Mhm.
So maybe they knew each other at one place and now she's somewhere different.
Mhm.
Which is interesting. I guess I'm curious to see what happens with that. I don't remember a scene where it was explicit indicating that she was the one that helped Justina and Roberto, but I think she did. I think it's kinda implied.
Yes. No, she did. She said something. She was up on the wall. She was the reason that they got away.
Okay. Although they went out there acting like they've never been out in the world before, it was very weird. They shouldn't have been out
I
there.
Yeah, I mean, I am I don't want to agree with Daryl, but I have to agree with Daryl because, she's like, because I mean, he held him at gunpoint and said, "You're going to take us back. We don't care. I don't, whatever. You don't understand. We're going to be separated. They're going to kill me. I don't care. Let's go."
Yeah.
Which again is very un-Daryl like. Um, but uh, I don't know. I just lost my train of thought. That Alzheimer's is just getting me, man.
Girl, don't play. You not
I
have
don't,
Alzheimer's.
it's Monday, tired.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, but um, keep talking. It'll come back to me here in a second. I just, I had those thoughts and it's right there.
Yeah, that happens sometimes.
And it had a salient reason for being
You said,
there. And
I had something good." It was
I had
there.
something good. It was good. And my brain just went, "Nope."
It'll come back later. So, we also met Guillermo Torres. He's the
Mhm,
leader of the Royals or whatever, the royal lineage grouping,
mhm.
and he's in charge of that offering ceremony, so
I
I'm
remember.
sure. Oh, go ahead, girl, go back.
No, it was, because Carol was like, "I feel really bad because we drug them back here and they didn't, well, what would have, just think of where they would have been if we hadn't come along." And he's like, "They would have been dead." And they would have, because if he had not
Facts, yeah,
interfered, while they were on the rocks, those other guys would have either taken them or killed them or both.
yeah.
Uh, and even if they had gotten past that, they really didn't have a whole lot of skills. I think these are inside people, not outside people.
Yeah, so how are you gonna run away? So, again, why are you even you had no training, you don't have no nothing. You just out
Mhm.
there swimming in a creek like it's a vacation.
Right. And not even that far from where they ran away from.
That's
I
what I
mean,
said. Wouldn't you get further away
yeah,
before you got so relaxed? It's like you're
yeah.
begging to be caught.
They're like, what do they say, like 2 hours away or an hour away. I mean, it wasn't that far.
No.
Um, so yeah, I mean, if they were really that desperate to get away, they really should have been further away. Or even if they stopped to sleep, they shouldn't have been playing in the pond and kissy kissy and everything else. They should have gotten up and kept going if they were really that afraid. You know what I mean?
They're they're like the kids that run away from home and get to the end of the street and they're like, "Fuck it, I'll go back."
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that, I mean, and I'm gonna have to agree with, they they kept saying, "Well, you're the reason we're back here, and we wouldn't have been here if it wasn't for you." But I'm gonna have to agree with Daryl. If it wasn't for them,
They'd
I
be
don't think
dead.
they would have survived much longer. I mean, if it hadn't have been the Bandoliers, it probably would have been, the Walkers. I
Yeah.
don't neither one of them seemed very, well, outside capable.
No, they don't seem prepared for anything. They're very like we've talked about with other, groups that are inside kids, they're very
Mhm,
soft, they don't have any experience, and it shows.
mhm.
Like, that poor kid, he tried to defend her, and he just gets knocked back. I'm like, "You're useless. What good are
Yeah,
you?"
I mean, and you could I mean, they didn't have yeah, they weren't they didn't pick a very good spot. They could have definitely eh, they could have found some place that was more secluded.
Mhm.
Um, they left their bag out visible because the only reason those guys stopped, I think, is because they saw their stuff at the
Yes, that is
top.
why.
Um,
Yeah.
wanted to so, yeah, I mean, it's not like they were being secretive.
No, not even a little bit. Not at all. So, they're stupid. I'm sure they're gonna try to run away again.
No, I don't think they will because the whole reason for them wanting to run away was because they were afraid that she was gonna get taken in this lottery.
Yeah.
And now that she's not gonna be taken in the lottery.
So, they'll just hang around, I guess.
Mhm.
Maybe they'll be a part of the resistance.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so back to the bad guy. This guy, Guillermo. He is what's her face is that girl's husband, right?
Mhm.
The young girl. I don't know. He seems bad.
So part of my question was, how many wives does he have?
Ooh. I didn't even think about that at all. I just thought one wife, but no, it sounds like he could have many wives.
Yes. Again, the secrecy and everything else. How many wives does he have?
Oh my gosh, that's awful.
I come up with the good questions, don't I, Tamara?
Look, I'm telling you, but it's valid. It's a valid question. Very valid. I don't know. I guess we're gonna find out.
Because that could be part of the secret. They're
They're all sister wives over there.
yeah, they're running harems.
Oh my gosh. That's
When he
horrible.
said, "Be fruitful and multiply," he didn't mean you had to do it all by yourself. No,
Hope it's
sorry.
not some Handmaid's Tale shit, but just in Spain. That would be awful.
Honestly, I don't think it's quite Handmaid's Tale level because the the one wife, I think she would have told her friend,
Mhm.
um, and would not have been quite so, "It's okay."
See,
Uh,
I just thought that was a show. I didn't really believe her when she was sitting at the table like, "It's so," I just thought it was she just put it on for, that's her job. You're gonna come here with me, fine, and you're gonna speak up and make it fine for us to, I don't know. It seems like
oh, there's
she
something
wasn't
going on. I
yeah.
I don't know what it is.
It's not on the up and up fully.
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
I mean, I
So,
don't think they're, like, sacrificing them to the walkers or dragons or whatever. Um, I don't think they have dragons either, I'm just saying,
yeah, yeah.
you know? I mean, now it it is possible that some of these girls are also being traded to communities further out for supplies.
Maybe.
I don't know. I mean, there's something going on, and it's just weird.
So is the girl that we saw here, so is she like the queen because she's involved with Guillermo, who is like claims royal lineage? Is
Mhm.
she the quote unquote queen of that
She
group?
technically would be, yes.
Mm, well, we know how they treat Spanish queens, don't we? Mm,
Mm. Not well.
yeah. I just got finished watching the first season of The Spanish Queen. I'm like, dang, they treated they played her so wrong. They played her to the left, but they do that to all queens back then. So why not repeat history?
Yeah.
Do something shady. There's something going on. It's not just as simple as them just being taken and finding found family and all this stuff. That's not what
Right.
it is. And
No,
it's
I
going to
mean,
be
like
a
I said,
fight.
if everything was on the up and up, I mean, once they were traded per se, the
Mhm.
family could still go and see them. There could be correspondence. There would be some knowledge of how their well-being.
Mhm.
Um, even if they were being brought to like, the post-apocalyptic equivalent of, finishing school for ladies, they'd still have that um, some kind of connection with their previous life. But the fact
Mhm.
that they don't, and nobody knows what happens to them, and their family doesn't know what happens to them, is kind of shady.
Yeah, definitely. It's absolutely shady, no question. Very
Mhm.
weird. But yeah, I guess we're just gonna have to find out. I'm not honestly, even though we got to see a lot of new characters and kind of get a grasp of what's going on in this town, um, there wasn't that much going on in this episode. It feels like it's very like it's a small capsule of information. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like we're in one place, we're seeing the same characters over and over. We didn't even get full answers on everything. Obviously, there's a lot to learn still. But yeah, I don't know. It was fine.
I think next episode's gonna be a lot more action orientated. I think this was the setup for next week
Yeah, I hope so. Because
when the reveal happens on what happens to these girls or something.
right. I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm trying not to, again, like, I'm having a hard time trying to guess what I think could happen because I just think I'm wrong every time. I don't know what the writers are ever thinking on this show.
I don't know, there could be a dartboard and, some sticky notes, I don't know.
Yeah, honestly, that would not surprise me at all if that's how they chose to write this series is with, plot
Oh,
devices on a wall and they
yeah,
throw darts at it.
you got 3 darts and you have to,
Mm,
candlestick in the
mhm.
den with Mr. Green, and, that's how we're playing this.
Lord have mercy. Oh my gosh. So let's do a rating again. We did one last week. If you had to rate this episode 1 out of 10, where would you put it?
Probably about a 7,
Okay, isn't that what you had last week? Or you had an 8 last week,
8
right?
last week.
So you like this one a little bit
A
less.
little bit less. I mean, I didn't hate it by any
Mhm.
means. Um, but again, like you said, there a lot more or questions than we got answers for.
Mhm.
Um, and I mean, it wasn't technically slow because there's always something going on, but it was a lot more the setup for next week.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see. So for me, let me think though. If I mm, actually I did like last week's a little bit better. So this would be a 6. 6.
Okay,
Because at least last week I didn't fall asleep. So there's that. And
yeah.
I'll never stop mentioning that because I am not one that like normally falls asleep when I'm watching TV. That is not normal for me.
Are
So
you sure? Because I've heard you
I
say that.
only on this stuff. I don't know why The Walking Dead puts me to sleep nowadays. I don't know what happened. Like, I don't know. Only
Your
this
brain
show.
says it's time to relax and unwind because you're watching carnage. It's time to sleep.
It's time to sleep. Let me put something horrible on the TV and go to sleep. Great.
I don't know. Maybe you're like one of those women that goes to sleep to the murder mystery who done it things.
You know what? I have gone to sleep during a true crime
Uh huh.
podcast before. I have done it.
Okay.
So
See, I'm just saying. See,
I
I'm
don't
on to
know.
something here.
It's fun listening and it's just soothing. I don't know why it puts me to sleep, but yeah, I don't know. But then I
Hmm.
also listen when I'm walking or driving, so I'm not sleeping then. I don't know. I can't explain it.
Okay.
Anyway, anywho,
Anywho.
anything else? You got anything else for this episode?
No, no, I think we pretty much covered everything that happened. Like I said, I mean, there was wasn't a lot going on, but there was a lot of setup taking place. So,
Yeah.
introductions and kind of dynamics between people and, so yeah.
Yeah, this was a really good setup episode for sure. And yeah, I'm looking forward to next week. We'll be here same time, same place. You guys
Mhm.
know the drill. And let's see. Don't forget. Oh, thanks for everyone who's listening live. I didn't see any comments today, but that's okay. We'll get back into the swing of things. All good.
Yeah.
Um, thanks for dropping in. If you're listening on the replay, we appreciate you for being here as well. And we'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care of yourselves. Bye, guys.
Bye bye.